Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and this is another episode of Unger the Radar, where we talk all things film and sometimes TV. And with me tonight, I have a wonderful panel of guest critics. We have Gilly Reichman back. Welcome back, Gilly.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yes, sir. And of course, Erica A. Welcome back. Second week in a row.
Hey, Randy, glad to be here. I know, 2 weeks in a row. Who could figure?
It's kind of exciting, right? How do you feel?
But we've got an interesting show with two movies with dynamic little boys, and it'll be interesting. I think it will go better than last week. I know last week was an amazing show, but here we are. Yay!
Yeah. No, last week was a good show, and I'm glad you can return. So welcome back. So guys, first things first, pandemic picks. Obviously, we are still in this awful time in history. A lot of us are spending a lot of time at home during the pandemic. So I just wanted to go around and just see what you guys are watching this week. Gilly, what's on your TV these days?
Alrighty. I'd actually just started. I didn't think it'd be any good. But I think it's great. Superman and Lois.
Okay.
The show.
Watching that.
The show, right? It was on HBO Max. I don't know what happened. I think got kicked off. Thank God it's in the CW, so I continued it.
It's a CW show that re-airs on TNT many a weekend.
Okay, there we go. So Superman and Lois. I keep thinking it's Smallville or some other name.
No, it's the Arrowverse.
The Arrowverse. But it's really good. The graphics are really good compared to other shows on this topic.
Yeah.
In the show world.
That's cool that you're watching.
That's the first.
It's actually, and the actor who plays Superman he was a child actor in The Road to Perdition. He played Tom Hanks' son in that movie. That was 2002. So it's pretty crazy that he's a grown man now. Like if you compare both that movie and this show, it's just, I know it's almost 20 years, but still quite a transformation, I must say. Honestly, For me, I'm not up to date with the DC stuff on TV. I should be, and I know Erica, you're judging me quietly there, and that's fine.
No, actually, I'm not this time.
Oh, this time, good. Okay, so I'm getting better.
No, it's not as relevant. It's not like when we were discussing Justice League, and I'm like, but you don't know. You have nothing to compare it to. What am I supposed to say? Okay.
Yeah, I compare it to Keaton as Batman, which is always a sentimental place in my heart. Love Burton's Batman, but
that is a great movie.
Oh yeah, I actually saw it in the drive-in, Queens Drive-in last weekend, and it was one of the coolest experiences ever in recent times. Side note, Queens Drive-in, they're offering some great screening options, some great classic films. And Batman was one of them. I think they also did or are going to do Grease. Jaws is on there as well. But yeah, if you just Google Queens Drive-In, you'll see the full schedule, and they've got some good stuff. Erica, what are you watching these days?
Well, the Arrowverse. We got Flash, and Supergirl just finished its run, and they moved Superman and Lois back into that time slot. Mm-hmm. And something I've been enjoying that I've enjoyed for years that I look forward to that they've now been playing more again on Food Network and Cooking Channel is Good Eats, which is a show from where the cook Alton Brown does half cooking and half sort of bits.
Okay.
Where some of my favorite episodes he does is where it's very minimal cooking, but he plays a role the whole time. Mm-hmm. Like for one example is he plays through most of the plot of Jaws.
Uh-huh. Cool.
Where the person he's cooking with is the guy who's supposed to be hunting him, and they use lines from the movie. Or one episode where he talks about his great-great-grandfather who went and cooked in the pie shop above Sweeney Todd, and the meat he's cooking, and Mr. Todd keeps walking in, and it's just a random show, and so I enjoy it, and I'm really glad that it's back. And for a while, all we had were these reloaded episodes where Alton was sort of fixing the 14 years of seasons.
Okay, now I know Alton is also the host of one of the...
yes, he is the announcer on the Iron Chef.
Iron Chef. Isn't there another cooking show he's involved with? I think he's involved with a couple, right?
He's involved with a couple, but many of the Food Network people sort of hang out and they intermingle.
Well, it's funny. I actually, I really like Chopped. It's one of my favorite
Okay.
shows. Love the intensity and the dishes that they come up with. They're so creative, really great. So,
And then there's, of course, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, which I think
course.
everyone knows that one.
Guy Fieri. Yeah. I mean, I could watch shows about food all day. I'm a big foodie. And if I weren't a film critic, I'd be a food critic. Maybe that's another calling. We'll see. Gilly, are you familiar with the cooking shows? Are you into that stuff?
I'm into it, but I, for some reason, haven't gotten into it anytime. I've been told to watch Man vs. Food and
That's good.
some other show.
That's a newer one, yes.
I prefer to watch Food vs. Food. What?
Oh, no, I was
Sorry.
going to say, I prefer the straight cooking to the traveling cooking
Mm.
at other people's restaurants and the competition shows.
The closest I've ever gotten was two things: watching the Hell's Kitchen guy yell at people. Gordon Ramsay, is that his name, or Steve Ramsay? What's his name?
Ramsay,
Ramsay.
yes, I agree.
Ramsay. Call him Ramsay for unknown sake. I don't know any names. But then I also was once having a really nice glass of wine, overpriced like crazy, in I don't know where, somewhere I think in Fullerton, California, Southern California, and an Anthony Bourdain show was on.
Mhm.
If he has his own show, but he was on and he was doing cooking back.
He's not a food
while ago.
person. He's on. He's Ovation, I believe.
Well, he was.
That's
sadly
probably what it was. Yeah.
away. He's no longer with us, guys. There's a show similar to his where there's this guy. He's a comedian, actor, writer. I think his name is Phil Rosenthal, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, Philip Rosenthal. The show is called Somebody Feed Phil. And basically, he goes to different countries and cities in the United States and samples the dishes of that area. And he's actually really funny too. And he's a very likable guy. He like converses and connects with everybody that he encounters in every country. And it's a really good show. I think it was on Netflix. It's called Somebody Feed Phil. And it's really good, really good.
Cool.
Yeah. So guys, let's get into, what am I watching actually?
What are you watching?
I mean, basically, again, stuff for the show. I'm always watching stuff for the, in preparation for the next week. We're going to be doing Mighty Ducks Game Changers in a few weeks, which is basically a spin-off series of the classic Disney hockey dramedy series starring Emilio Estevez. So there's that. There's a few things. I'm always watching, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Seinfeld, different things of that nature, and always doing commentaries, feature-length commentaries. We're going to be doing Beetlejuice tomorrow, and that should be a lot of fun. But yeah, and I try to sleep
for Loki. Since I forgot you brought up Disney.
Yeah, what about it? What you got some Disney stuff you're watching?
No, I'm just wondering. Am I the only one excited about Loki coming in a few weeks?
Oh yeah, Loki's going to be great. We're doing that too eventually. That's in I think early. Well, we're going to be doing after all of the episodes drop. So that'll be like late June, I want to say, or early July. So stay tuned for that, guys. Okay, guys. So the first review of tonight is this was a decent film, not stellar. It's called Shepard, the story of a Jewish dog. I did not come up with that title. I think they could have done better on the title, but the movie is pretty decent. It's watchable, and it's not as intense and as violent as I thought it was going to be. It follows this German Shepherd who gets separated from his family during Nazi-occupied Germany. And basically, it's about this dog trying to reunite with his owner, who is this 11-year-old boy who's in a work camp. And you would think it's a very depressing movie, but it's actually pretty hopeful. And I think it's pretty decent for the whole family, maybe the whole family, teenagers and up. It's a nice story of a boy and his bond with a dog. And I think it was okay. It wasn't great, but it was better than a lot of the stuff I've reviewed on this show. Erica, you can attest to that.
Yes.
Right?
It wasn't terrible at all.
Yeah. But yeah, Gilly, start with you. What were your thoughts of Shepard?
Good movie. Yeah, I have more comments than the other movie, to be honest, because it was longer, I think. No, I mean, part of it was like dreadful, because of like where it like took place and what was going on.
Right.
But I liked it. It was different. It was just different.
Okay.
It seemed like the movie was, at first I thought it was going to be from the kids' perspective, but it seems like it was really from the dog's perspective, because you had many scenes. They try to make it look like a dog's having a thought, and they made it like a black and white thought or something. It was weird, as if that's what it's really like.
I know.
I kind of liked that though. Really
it was
funny.
cute,
It was very cute dog.
And actually, guys, if you don't know, Gilly is my stepbrother, and we had a dog. We had a dog sister, and she passed fairly recently. But I felt that Gilly, that this film could resonate with you. It definitely resonated with me, because I love dogs, and I love Scheherazade, our sister. So I think this was an appropriate film for both of us to watch. So,
absolutely.
I love movies about the perspective of a dog. I think we can all think about like a dog's journey, purpose, and a way home. I think I got that order mixed up, but they're basically all pretty much the same, where they follow a dog as he attempts to reunite with his family. And this is what this movie is too. So it kind of follows in that formula, Another movie that comes to mind are the Homeward Bound 1 and 2.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
And I
was thinking, I was like, it's a cross between that and one other thing, but I'll let you finish and then I'll tell you what I was thinking while watching.
So yeah, very heartfelt movies as well. You're rooting for these animals to get back to their owners, back to their families, and they go through these crazy adventures. And you've got this movie where they're in Nazi occupied Germany. Kind of similar, and no spoilers, guys, but it's a very hopeful film, and again, I think it's pretty good for the whole family. Erica, what were your thoughts on the film?
So I actually found out of more than Homeward Bound, it reminded me a great deal of Polly.
Oh, Paul. Well, that's a different species. Yeah. Slightly different species.
But it had a lot of the same feel with the animal who gets taken and then has to go and tries to find its way back. It gets taken again. It gets put in all these different environments and all these different lives. It meets more animals of its own kind. And it learns he's very different than the other animals, and he excels, and there's connections. But also I was very fascinated by the boy, and so I checked. And I couldn't believe it is August, from How I Met Your Mother, from Girl Meets World, from so many things. And I'm like, he is such a brilliant actor. And in 5-10 years from now, I would love for him to see an Oscar.
August Maturo is who you're referring to. And I have never
brilliant opera singer and such an adorable little actor. He's so much older now. I couldn't believe it, but
he is so good in this, and I was so surprised because, I mean, kid actors, it's kind of a rare thing, but sometimes they could really pull in a good performance, and it's really great that he was in this. I'm sorry, he was in what was the shows you mentioned that he was in?
I mentioned a few. I mentioned How I Met Your Mother. He was Lily and Marshall's son.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Towards the end.
Oh, How I Met Your Mother. I was mixing that up with The Big Bang Theory. Sorry.
No, the show before it.
Gotcha. Well, August Maturo, I think he's got a bright future, so we shall.
And then he had a small shot at a Disney career. He was the sort of revival to Boy Meets World. He was in Girl Meets World.
Yeah.
And he stole most of his. I didn't care for the actress who played their daughter. He was their son, Korean Topanga, and he had some of the most adorable parts, and he was able to just play so many dynamic levels to the role. Cool. And I'm glad that he was in this movie, and it's like, here he is again.
Yeah.
So
very emotional.
He brought a lot to the movie. Oh, yes, very emotional. And very, very well done at him and his dog and how they connected and what happened between as we followed the dog's perspective of what happened while he was missing.
Yeah. And you know what? even though he was a Nazi, I thought he was a pretty decent actor, who was basically in charge of training the dog, Ken Dukin. And
Interesting career in random.
Hopefully not a Nazi in real life, but
yes,
Hopefully not.
yes.
hopefully not.
He's actually played a few in a few different places, I feel like.
Yeah, he looks very familiar, for sure. Gilly, what did you think of the actors in this?
They were good.
Yeah.
No complaints. There were no bad actors. I gotta agree, the dog trainer was pretty good. Just the way he was talking and everything, you can tell the kid was a good actor. Parents, even the sister. Best actor though, the dog.
I think I agree.
It was about the dog.
Well, his movie. He
Yeah.
didn't want anyone to upstage the title role.
Blitz's movie or whatever. What's his other name? His other name is Kate. What is it?
Caleb.
Caleb. Yeah.
You know, and I give the director Lynn Roth a lot of credit for following. There's scenes with like multiple dogs, and how do you like wrangle them? I mean, I don't really know.
How do you get bark? I was thinking that bark and do this and that. And
yeah, how do you get a dog direction?
Hug you and.
Well, there's over the years there have been many animal actors.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking of Bart the bear. Remember? No. Okay.
And also, what's that from?
What? Okay.
What's that from?
Wait, what?
Bart the bear.
Bart the bear. Yeah, he was in this movie, The Edge, with Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin, where they crash land in the wilderness.
And I think he's been in something else too. He's the go-to like animal that they cast now.
I think he's also no longer with us, actually, that bear. He was in the John Candy, Dan Aykroyd movie, The Great Outdoors, 1988.
I got to see these.
And I think he was brought on stage for one of the Academy Awards special telecasts. He was actually brought on stage. So I forget what year, but anyway. So Shepard, the story of a Jewish dog. Yeah, I was expecting, because it's Nazi Germany. I went in very nervous, but I came out feeling pretty good because it was a decent movie. And I say see it. I mean, Gilly, what do you say? See it or skip it? Do you recommend this bit to people?
See it. Yeah, see it. It's watchable.
It is watchable.
Yeah.
Erica?
I'd say see it as long as you're the correct age range, because it still is a story about Nazis and about violence. So if you're a fan of the lead male actor and you're a child and your parents pick it, it's not the right movie to see. But if you're an adult, definitely see the movie. It was enjoyable and it tugged at your heartstrings in the right places.
It does. Yeah, I definitely see it. I think the costumes, the sets, the locations were very authentic. You actually felt like you were in this time period, which I love when any movie does that, when it transports you to another place and time. I think that's when a movie does its job, So Shepard definitely does that, and I say see it. So see that movie, Shepard, the story of a Jewish dog. And it is actually now out in select theaters. So go check that out, Google it, get some show times, and watch that movie. There was this documentary recently, a few months ago, that I did review. I mentioned it on the show, called Stray. And it was actually about a stray dog in, I think it was Budapest. And it followed, this camera crew followed this stray dog all throughout the streets of Budapest, like his daily life, the people that he interacts with, people that, feed him and give him water. And that was also pretty much in the point of view of the dog. So that was just, I think it was a little bit better than this movie. I mean, it was a little bit different because it was a documentary, but it was still really good. So I recommend that. It's called Stray, and check that one out as well. All right, thought I'd throw that in there. But guys, we're going to take a short commercial break, but we'll be back with more movie reviews right after this.
Under the Radar is brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. patent pending interchange genuine gemstone and crystal EMF protection jewelry. For more information, please visit magnitudejewelry.com/gemgirl or call 718-268-6633.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show, Under the Radar. And we are halfway through, guys. We've got one more review to do. And this movie is actually on HBO Max right now. It's called Those Who Wish Me Dead. And it stars Angelina Jolie behind me. And she basically plays a smoke jumper in the Montana wilderness who basically, gets involved with this young boy who, I'm not going to give away too many details, but he's undergone a harrowing experience, and basically there are two people out to get them, and basically they are just fighting for their lives in the wilderness here in Montana. And it's actually kind of a nice story. I mean, it's horrible what's happening around them. There's forest fires going on. There's people out there out to get them, but they basically form a bond. Another theme for today's show is bonding, and Angelina Jolie definitely bonds with this young boy as they basically fight for their lives and try to survive. So, Erica, what were your thoughts on Those Who Wish Me Dead?
I found it was an interesting cast of many people besides Angelina Jolie, who's looking nicely off to the side.
Yeah.
And is looking off into the danger that's coming. But the two guys who were coming after them were both well-known actors that anyone would probably recognize.
Littlefinger.
Yes, I didn't learn their names, and I found it interesting afterwards that it was never quite explained that the two guys were actually brothers on the job. And
interesting. I did not. They didn't reveal that in the movie, did they? No.
It's in the explanation of the movie when you look it up, because I was trying to figure out why I recognize Nicholas Hoult. Nick. Yes, and I'm like, and there's the other guy. I was calling them. Okay, here comes Littlefinger, and other guy I recognize who does everything.
Hank McCoy.
Nicholas Hoult, who we all know.
Yes, exactly. Hank McCoy, or the King in The Great, and
About Boy with Hugh Grant.
Yeah, and so I'm like, and so I'm looking at them, and it's like I'm enjoying their side of the story, and then I'm like, oh, and there's the brother, whose brother is an accountant, just like in The Accountant.
Yeah,
I know he's far more famous for actual roles he's done, like he was Punisher, and he was in, I believe, The Walking Dead.
Yep, you're thinking of John Bernthal.
Thank you. Yes. But I was like, it's such an interesting dynamic cast of people all coming together, though movie-wise, I thought it was like not quite as good as I hoped it would be. No. It reminded me a bit of Cliffhanger, but not quite as interesting or exciting at times. Yeah. I did love the little boy.
Yep.
The son of the accountant, who had a lot of hard roles. And I think who really stole the show for me was the guy who was the sheriff, who was the little boy's uncle. He had a wife who's playing this pregnant woman who goes through all those action scenes while still pregnant.
I know. I was like on the edge of my seat. Like, what is this character doing right now? She's fighting these guys with guns, and she's like about to pop. She's pregnant, like 6 months. And her name actually Medina Singer. Yeah. She was fantastic. I've never seen her before, so I was rooting for her character, actually.
But yes, so the movie brings a lot to the table, but for me, it didn't quite live up to what I thought it should be with a cast like this. But it had many interesting points,
Yeah.
and Angelina Jolie played a great role.
Yep.
And I'm glad that she's still working and that she got a chance to play this. And she has her flashbacks, and then she has what she's handling right now, and she's able to try and fight through it and fight the fire.
Yeah. She was pretty good. I was actually surprised. I'm not the biggest Angelina Jolie fan. She's kind of hit or miss with me, you know, like she's given some great performances, like, you know, Girl Interrupted. That was one of her earlier roles. 1999. She won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for that. You know, she's given some decent performances. This, I think she really rose to the occasion, and I think she headlined the film really well. And of course, John Bernthal, I love him as well. He's a great actor, great character actor. Always plays a tough guy. He's kind of typecast as a tough guy, but I like his work a lot. Gilly, what did you think of the film?
I liked it. I don't know if I could beat that review. That was really in detail. But John Bernthal, great actor from The Walking Dead, always plays the sheriff.
Right.
Right. You know, wears that well. Plays the sheriff from both. But I really, really, really like the scene where he said, "Show me," and he was like, "I'm gonna die with my dignity," and it was just a really good scene. It was like, wow, this guy's brave. You know what I mean? He's gonna stop hunting this kid for them, and just like, and he was so like confrontational with them, and but in the right way, and that was just really, I just really like that. I'm like, oh wow, this guy's an honorable man. That being said, I always like Angelina Jolie. I think I haven't seen many movies of hers, but what I've seen are good. Salt is one of them. I've seen. I literally just watched last night. Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
That's a great one. It's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
That's pretty good.
Tomb Raider. I don't remember how good that was.
I think I saw the first one. I didn't see the second Tomb Raider.
The first one's pretty good. The second one,
no, not so much.
I get confused between that and National Treasure for some reason. But anyway.
Or how about Relic Hunter?
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Didn't see that.
Oh, it was a series that was on around the same time they made the movie. It starred, I forgot her, the girl who's in the Wayne's World movies, who did True Lies. Who was the other one?
Oh yeah, Tia Carrera.
No.
Tia Carrera was in True Lies and Wayne's World.
Yes, Tia Carrera. That is right. Yes, that's who it is. She's the Relic Hunter.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I also liked I liked how I don't know the names, but the actor that plays Littlefinger in
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, thank you. Was in it, and Beast from X-Men. I thought that was interesting. I think they're both great actors, but I don't think the actor that plays Beast from X-Men, or Hank McCoy, doesn't come off as a bad guy to me. So I think maybe they should have made him a good guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he comes off as a follower, no matter who he is. So I'm looking at it as he's just following Littlefinger's lead. Littlefinger goes, "Go up there and get a better view." He goes, "Okay, let's go this way. We've got to find the boy." And he goes, "Okay." He's not the leader type.
Right.
You're talking about Aidan Gillen, who basically plays the mastermind between the two of them.
Well, no, the mastermind is the great cameo of Tyler Perry.
Ooh, slight spoiler there.
No, it's not. He's he's like towards the beginning of the movie. He's the.
Agree to disagree.
Okay.
When you see Tyler Perry, you'll know. You guys watching at home, you'll know. But Aidan Gillen, I thought he was great. He's a great villain. Gillen the villain. Hey. But yeah. So what I liked about this movie, it was pretty straightforward. It's a simple story. It doesn't like rely on a huge twist at the end like a lot of thrillers do this day and age. So that was good. It doesn't, confuse audiences or, takes them down a winding road and confuse them. And actually, it's directed by Taylor Sheridan, who did Hell or High Water a couple years back. I don't know if you guys saw it. Okay, Gilly. So great movie. Basically, it's a modern day Western starring Jeff Bridges as a
Mhm.
sheriff who's out to get
Sheriffs.
he's out to get Chris Pine and I think Ben Foster, who played like bank robbing brothers, from what I remember. It was really good actually. 2017. It was one of the best movies of the year.
Interesting
And
movie.
yeah, Gilly, I recommend that Hell or High Water if you ever get the chance. So, real quick, what were your?
You probably didn't see it though, because it blended into an era where many westerns were being made, like the assassination of Jesse James and the Coward. I'm missing his name now.
And also the assassination of Jesse James by the Coward. I forget the rest.
Yeah, that's as long as fits in the box when you're actually scrolling
yeah.
on the TV.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. It sounds like, is it new?
But it came out at the same time as like quite a few of her westerns over those few years, and so
yeah, this was like the period like between 2014 and 17. I want to say that era.
That's probably
Yeah.
nice.
Go back and check it out. Yeah, for sure. It's really good.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and you know, some trivia for those who wish me dead. Nicolas Cage was actually considered for one of the roles. It doesn't specify which one, but he could have pretty much. He could have been the sheriff. I think he could have been the
In what movie?
In this one, Those Who Wish Me Dead.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I love Cage. He can. I love him in anything.
Is he Italian?
What?
The line from him in Ghost Rider. Italian.
Oh God.
Like Italian. Yeah.
You know what? Maybe he's made some bad movies too. This is true, but he's always entertaining. That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to get at. So yeah, Those Who Wish Me Dead. Erica, would you recommend this to anybody?
maybe. No, I'm sort of on the fence on it.
You are?
I think for a person who's an Angelina Jolie fan, they will probably like it. If they like an action, forces of nature movie, maybe they'll like it. They'll like the fire's coming.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I felt it was just short. It was missing something. And it left a lot of open-ended questions and weird twists, like what happened to everyone. Like I said, the brother relationship was never explained. The missing horse at the end is never explained.
Oh, no, the poor horse. I guess there's some loose ends. Yeah, I get that.
I don't know. It just was just not quite there.
Right, but I had very low hopes for it, so I was surprised at how much better it was than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
I'm curious, Gilly, what was it like for you going into this? Were you hesitant? Were you like, oh, this is going to be amazing, or did it disappoint you?
I knew it was going to be good because I kept seeing it on HBO Max, one of the top movies being recommended. I'm like, okay, wow, gotta check. It's gotta be. It wasn't incredible, but I enjoyed it a lot because of the actors in it, I think, and especially because the Walking Dead actor, I just think is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really cool. So if honestly, if the Walking Dead actor wasn't in it, and especially if the other two, Littlefinger and I'm gonna call them Beast. No offense, I don't know their names right now. I'm sure they're lovely. But if they weren't in it, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't enjoy it that much.
Yeah. So it's the actors, right? It's the star power. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way pretty much. Okay, Erica, would you? I asked you already. Okay.
Yeah, and I told you I was on the fence on it.
Right. All right. Well, Those Who Wish Me Dead is now out in theaters and is currently streaming on HBO Max for 1 month only. So check it out while you can, guys. So
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
Two movies with one animal in them.
Yeah. It's the theme.
Your Honor.
Yes, Gilly.
I will say one thing. I don't know much about fires. I've never seen a wildfire, but I don't know if the movie displays it accurately. I think it's crazy how fast the fire can actually spread. I thought you can always walk away from it. You have to sprint, and even if you're sprinting, you might become marshmallow, toasted marshmallow. But that being said, I also like how there was a trick where you can like lie underwater in like a little creek, kind of, and just keep taking breaths.
Yeah.
I guess for a
Don't
long
talk too much
time.
about
I don't know.
the end of the movie though, because we don't want to give too much away.
Oh, right. Whoops. But I liked it. So.
But yeah, it is pretty frightening at how quickly the fire spreads. I don't know how accurate that is. Maybe they dramatized that a little bit, made it, kind of blew it out of proportion. But yeah, the tension was there, and I think the filmmakers did a good job achieving that level of tension. So, all right, well, I say see it. If you're an Angelina Jolie completist, go have fun with it. If you are a fan of John Bernthal, also enjoy. Yeah, it's a decent film. It's an exciting film, and it's a nice diversion. So those who wish me dead. All right, guys. So some more films coming out this week. We've got The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Erica, cover your ears. No, I'm kidding.
I know. Never fun horror adventure that I'll be not looking at.
So we've got the next installment in the Conjuring universe franchise. Vera Farmiga, Patrick Wilson, and basically Ed and Lorraine Warren try to uncover the truth behind a murderer's claim of demonic possession. So I like some of the Conjuring movies. I don't know about you guys. I think the first two were really, really good in my opinion. Erica, I know you skipped them, right?
Right. I went horror. No, thank you. I'll go watch something I've seen before. Maybe I'll sit through all 6 hours of Pride and Prejudice instead.
There you go.
Kind of not scary. It wouldn't scare me, The Conjuring.
No.
Sorry. But Signs scares me as a shit.
Signs is one of my favorites too. Yeah.
I haven't seen many scary movies. That and The Blair Witch.
Ooh.
Conjuring. Not me, but the others. Yeah.
I hear you. Well, I mean, again, check out the first few Conjurings. They're pretty good. They're spooky as hell. There's the nun who makes an appearance in some of them. And just don't watch the movie with your lights out. Make sure the lights are on.
Isn't that the way you're supposed to watch a horror movie, though?
No, I can't. I cannot.
Okay.
It's too much. All right. All right, guys. So next up on the list of coming attractions, Spirit Untamed, which is another animated entry in the Spirit franchise. The first one, Spirit Legend, was it? No, Spirit. I think Legend of the Cimarron. Butchered that title. Came out in 2002, and it was by DreamWorks Animation, which follows the story of a horse. I think was voiced by Matt Damon. So this one is basically just another one of those animated horse movies. So
it's a fun movie.
Yeah, you're gonna see it?
I don't know, eventually. But yeah, I know that one, and I was like, oh, is it connected to the other one? Is Matt Damon returning to play the horse?
Matt Damon is not, but it's got a pretty good cast, including Jake Gyllenhaal and Andre Rauer, Julianne Moore, and Walton Goggins. So a lot of them have done TV, Erica, so you may be interested in that.
Oh, no, I recognized most of their names, and okay. So
Good. So there's that. Spirit Untamed. All right, next up on the list, we've got a drama thriller called Flashback, which, here's the synopsis. After a chance encounter with a man forgotten from his youth, Fred literally and metaphorically journeys into his past. Okay. No real interest there. Maybe if it's on TV, I'll check it out eventually, Netflix or something like that. We've got a sports drama called Under the Stadium Lights, and it stars Milo Gibson, Abigail Hawke, Ava Justin, Corey White, and Lawrence Fishburne, who I've never seen a bad performance of his. Great actor. You guys probably know him best from the Matrix trilogy. He
was the first Cowboy Curtis.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forget. Pee-wee's Playhouse, ladies and gentlemen. And also Milo Gibson, Mel Gibson's son. So that should be interesting. Let's see if he's as good as an actor as his racist father. So we'll
God, you really
He said it, not me.
Hey, it's true. But no, I try to separate Mel Gibson, the man, from the artist, and he's done some really good work. Really good actor, really good director too. Hacksaw Ridge, it was a war film he did a couple years back, which was actually really, really good. So I try to separate the personal life from the artist as much as possible. All right. So, and last but not least, we have another sport action drama called The Unhealer, and it stars Natasha Henstridge and Lance Henriksen. And it's supernatural, according to the synopsis. Doesn't seem that it seems like a solid B film, a B movie. So that's The Unhealer. So, all right, guys. I'm just curious from you now. What are you looking forward to watching? Erica, anything, movies, TV, have at it.
Actually been enjoying catching up. HBO has been really great about getting us all caught up on all kinds of things. Every month they give us a new movie, everything that we've been missing thanks to the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And like one thing I was saying was, oh, look, the new David Copperfield movie. Mm. And so I was like, we could review that even though it was a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was the week before the Angelina Jolie movie.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, Dev Patel. And I'm like, he's always done interesting things. Sometimes he's a little hit or miss, but it had an amazing cast. And I'm like, okay. And of course, the Nolan movie that tried to come out over the summer that failed, that they released it anyway and it played nowhere. It went to HBO, and so I caught up on that. And I've finally seen Bill and Ted, because Epic's been getting a lot of great movies also.
Okay. And
I know every time you spoke to me, you're like, have you seen Bill and Ted 3 yet? I'm like, hopefully soon. So I did.
Good. And they have a Bill and Ted Day, which I believe is June 9th, I believe. I'm gonna check.
Is it formerly Keanu Day, or is that a totally different day?
It might be a different day, but I can see how they obviously intersect.
Because there used to be a Keanu Day and Keanu Con.
Keanu Con? I have not heard of that. That sounds amazing.
Okay. But yeah, no, he had his own convention like for 2 years, I believe, in England.
Cool. I could see that. They should.
But
I'm sure that, wait, what did it happen already, or is it about to?
No, I don't think it's happened for 2 years because of the pandemic, but I'm saying they had a 2-year run.
Well, they can do it virtually, if anything.
Okay, that would be something to look into.
That's what they're doing for Bill and Ted Day, which I'm looking at now is June 9th. And obviously they will be celebrating all things Bill and Ted, all 3 films, the animated series. Was there I think it was a live action series too, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe, I'm not sure about that. I know about the Saturday morning cartoon, but things are starting to resume, thankfully. I mean, Miss Universe went live with in person, if anyone watched, a few weeks ago. And of course, the MTV Movie and TV Awards were only a few weeks ago too. Now, they at least did it right. That was what the Oscars was missing. They had the humor. Right. The host actually inserted herself in many of the Academy-nominated movies, and they give the actual lines, and they wrote her bits, and they really did celebrate movies, I felt.
You're talking about the Oscars thing?
No, I'm talking about the MTV Movie Awards celebrated the Oscars, because the Oscars was missing the humor, was missing the Billy Crystal.
Yeah, I didn't actually catch the show because I was busy in the press room. But from what I saw from the Oscars, yeah, there was no host yet again, which they need. I think they definitely need Billy back, because Billy Crystal is a genius.
Definitely.
Gilly, you might be you're younger than us, but do you remember Billy Crystal at all hosting the Oscars? Like from the night?
I don't recall.
Yeah, you're probably too young.
I don't recall details.
They pull him back a few times when people randomly couldn't do it.
Yeah. But I think an award show needs a host to anchor it, to give it like a voice, and just pepper it with some humor all throughout. So, Gilly, how do you feel about award shows nowadays without a host?
You need a host, don't you?
I would think, right? I would.
Yeah, it makes it fun.
Need a host if something goes wrong.
Host or hostess, yeah. Oh, that too. Host or hostess. It makes it fun. I don't know why. Whenever I think of a host, I always think of when Jeff Goldblum hosted SNL, and I'm like, this is great. Um, it was fantastic. But I don't know. I should watch award shows more. I'd enjoy them. I used to, but I guess I didn't have cable. I don't know, for a long time,
They're
and I
always
think
on a network. They're always on 2, 4, 5, 7.
I never had anything. I just Amazon Fire. I'll be honest, for many years, and I didn't.
That's fine.
That's my excuse. So,
Well, Gilly, I'm curious. What are you looking forward to seeing? Streaming or?
I was looking forward to a lot of things, but they already came out. You know, Godzilla, Mortal Kombat, and there's like another movie. I guess I'm looking forward to finishing Superman and Lois. I kind of wanted to check out. I don't know. I heard it was good. I want to check out some shows eventually on Disney Plus, like The Mandalorian.
Yes.
Is that good?
Yes.
That
amazing. I'm still on season 2, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a great show. Check out season 1, obviously, and just work your way up.
I just don't know. What else? Is there anything coming out? Because the movies are shut. I figured Hollywood's a little slower, right?
Well, Erica and I mentioned Loki at the beginning of the show. You're a big Marvel guy. Loki, are you?
Oh, Loki. No, that sounds great. I honestly, I think I heard about that, and then I just heard about it, and I think it's fantastic.
Okay.
How could it not be? You know.
That's going to be on Disney Plus. So if you have that app, I know
a few more weeks.
Max.
Cool.
But yeah.
Oh, I know what I'm looking forward to.
What?
The next season of Curb.
Are they still going?
My friend Alex, she told me that there's another season coming out. They're filming it now or something. That's what she told me. You know, they're filming it, but I don't think it's a show. I think it's a historical documentary. I was thinking of historical documents from Galaxy Quest.
Yes.
It's an important show. It's an important show. You got to teach your kids things. You know, you watch Curb.
No, Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm should be put in a time capsule.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
But the reason I thought about Curb so much today is because of season 10 and the movie, the movie about the German Shepard, right?
Yeah.
Because there was an episode or so in Curb Enthusiasm season 10 where there was a German Shepherd that did not like Jewish people.
I remember.
And it was kind of about that, and he would growl when he saw a Jewish star, and I was like, "Whoa, jeez."
Yeah.
So,
it was Alan Tudyk played this inventor who has a German Shepherd who he like doesn't like Larry because he's Jewish, but it's like he's trained the dog to like. I mean, yeah, I don't want to get into it, but it's a very funny episode. Erica, are you a Curb fan at all? I don't know.
No, not so much.
No, you don't like Larry David?
I'm more picky about my comedies, I think, is the more clear explanation to that. It's not that I don't like him. I like him in some things, but comedy in general. I'm more of a Mel Brooks fan, or sometimes even Monty Python.
Oh, cool.
And of course, like Airplane and Naked Gun.
Nice.
And many of those movies, just hit or miss.
Is that where the line is from? Shirley something, and the guy goes,
yes.
First of all, don't call me Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley. Yeah.
Very funny.
Classic.
That's the Naked Gun, right? The Naked Gun?
No, that's Airplane. Naked Gun is more, what's that? It's the room. Haven't you, like...
Wait, but
they continue those jokes from Airplane.
Hot Shots and Airplane had the same filmmakers, or...
Did they?
One of them is Zucker. I think it's Jerry Zucker.
I believe it was only one of the two that did the two Hot Shots movies. But that's why Lloyd Bridges continued from one to the other.
He went from like an admiral to the president.
In the second one. Well, that's what politics is all about. And he gets to go fight Saddam Hussein.
Yep. that movie's hilarious. I love it. I've only seen part 2. I didn't see the first one, but
oh, you have to see the first one. The first one makes part 2 make sense, or else you don't get a lot of the humor.
I know part 2 is more of a Rambo parody, and the first one is Top Gun.
The first one is Top Gun.
Right. That's cool. Gilly, what are you into parodies like that, or is that?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not too picky. I think so.
Well, I know you and I share a love for Galaxy Quest, which is not really a parody. It's considered a satire on like the Star Trek universe. And I could watch that movie anytime. It'll always put a smile on my face. It's a total feel good.
True, but I can't think of any other parodies for some reason other than that. And that, again, that's barely one is that.
More of the more recent stuff would be like the Scary Movie franchise.
Yeah.
Those are funny.
Or
yeah, some of them.
Or this. Yeah, the Scary Movie and then superhero movie and
Epic movie. Epic movie is actually considered by me the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life. It's just so bad. It's so unfunny, and anyone who watches it, I feel sorry for you. It's just so awful. But yeah, speaking of most awful, Gilly, is there a movie that sticks out for you? Most awful ever? Worst movie ever? I'm just curious.
Not to sound so useless on the show. There definitely is. There for sure is.
Okay.
I can't think of it right now.
Okay.
I was
don't
always
worry, I was like, Randy, you're putting us on the spot. I don't think I can answer.
I'm sorry, guys. I was just curious. Thought. That's all. I'm just
bad movie. I will say this. I was taught that the worst. I haven't seen it. I was told the worst movie ever was Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yes, historically, that's what I was waiting for you to say. I'm like, no, the answer should be Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
It is that bad, huh? Okay.
I haven't seen it, but textbook wise,
okay.
Everyone said
it's Best Friends. That was.
Which one?
Best Friends.
Is
the
that
sequel to the movie the sequel to The Room?
Oh, I didn't.
I haven't seen The Room.
Yeah, the Disaster Artist, Gilly. That
was amazing.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, but the one it's based on, the sequel. I never watched The Room, but it's called Best Friends. I thought it was. I had to turn it off after like 10-20 minutes.
Really? Interesting. Yeah. Why I saw The Room? I saw Disaster Artist. I need to see Best Friends because I love.
Okay, good luck getting through it.
Yeah. Okay.
It just didn't make any sense. It was weird. It was very weird, and it just made me feel weird. And I was like, I can't do this. I'm out. So I stopped.
Bad. Oh man.
I thought it was a sequel to the Disaster Artist. That's why I purchased it.
No, it would be more of a sequel to The Room because the Disaster.
I know. Look,
in
the picture for the movie on Amazon or whatever.
No.
They just look like they look so close, and I'm like, oh, this is. I don't know why I thought it was a sequel. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. How come Randy never mentioned this? It's a sequel to the Disaster Artist. Turned it on, noticing things that didn't make sense, and I shut it off.
For some reason,
it was really weird.
It's definitely on my list, but for some reason, I just haven't gotten around to it. But now that you've said you gave me a little mini review, I'm excited to see how bad it is.
And I don't want to give away the worst part, right? Because I almost said that earlier.
No spoilers.
Sorry, my camera off. But I don't want to give anything away, but you'll find out for yourself. So
okay, thank you. Cool. I like the heads up. Erica, I know. Erica, how about you? Worst movie ever? I'm just curious.
So many of the things you've made me watch.
No, I deserve that. For sure.
I don't know, but some of them have just. Oh wait, let's wait for. Okay, so many of the things you have made me watch over the past few years.
Yeah.
Could definitely fall into. How do I have to get through this for Randy's sake? If this was my choice, I would have just given up.
Well, I want you to know, Erica, it has never been out of spite. I've never done this.
I know.
You know.
It's just out of dumb luck.
I know. I see an attractive actor, someone I like, and I'm like, okay, this could be good. But then, 2 minutes in, it's just total garbage. And that's unfortunate. But I've been trying to be a little more selective with my choices. I try to pick movies that I think will be good. But yeah, Gilly, go. Yeah.
Sorry, can I add one more?
Yeah, please.
CZ start to come to me, and I really am doing this to warn everybody else. Zoolander 2.
Ooh, good.
Oh,
yeah.
But that has redeeming aspects. As long as you don't actually watch it from beginning to end.
That's the problem. Yeah, a good point. The end is just
terrible, Gilly. So
bad.
It took them 10 years, and this is the best they can come up with. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, isn't that the excuse for many a movie? I mean, like Coming to America.
Oh,
that wasn't. They could have made that better.
It's a terrible movie, but is this the best thing they can come up with?
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad but true. And they just rely
Yeah.
on nostalgia to get through it, get people to like it and see it, but it's not enough.
Or the last Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. What is the
Oh, Rush Hour 3,
Power?
yes.
awful. Yes. Sorry, Gilly.
I'll give you the worst of all time. Here's my actual top of worst movies in hilarity. That's a word. Independence Day Resurgence.
Oh God, yeah, that had maybe one redeemable aspect of the whole movie, and it's like, wait, you're killing them?
You know what? I
I
love
knew.
I love the first one so much though. I do need to rewatch part 2 because maybe we're judging it too harshly.
No.
No,
No, they didn't have anybody in it. No, they did, but they
had Goldblum. He's great.
that's the only reason.
It had Bill Pullman, you know. It just needed Will Smith, but that probably wouldn't have saved it either. So anyway, well, those are
I had some pretty good ones right there. Pretty bad ones.
Some good
As we
bad
talked
movies.
about short attempts at sequels that have now taken way too long to come out, and then we're forced to be disappointed.
Yeah, these were just scarring. So
It's like they can't recreate the magic from the first film, so they try to just like copy it, slap it all together, and just sell it to the public.
But if they had copied it, at least it would have been better. Like Red 2. Red 2 is the exact same formula of Red 1. It isn't as good as it, but it is formulated step by step to be the exact same movie.
Yeah. It depends on the movie franchise, but usually the original is better. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. So we're actually almost out of time, but I wanted to go around real quick. Any plugs? Anything you want to mention, promote? Any plugs, Gilly?
I think it's the same as last time. I should have, but I don't currently have my own practice established. But I would like to. I plan to soon have a chiropractic / functional medicine practice established, probably virtual, starting out just with that because it's kind of coaching in a way. It's not very hands-on for the most part. I just don't have anything really set up yet, except for a few parts of it. So it's way too early. And if I'm on another show, it still might be too early, but I will plug that. So thank you very much.
Anytime, Gilly. Thank you for being on.
Thank
Erica A, anything you want to plug today?
Oh, not today, but I'm ready to start going back. Production is starting to open up, and I'm ready to see if we can get some projects made, get art being made again. I mean, I still have the fun of just enjoying entertainment and the sadness of way too many shows that were taken off the air coming that won't be back in the fall. So I hope a few of them will be saved. Especially Prodigal Son. I mean, that show definitely needed to be saved. Fox kills off way too many shows, but just hoping that I can start working again, that shows can start coming back, and I look forward to seeing what the future has to hold.
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe Prodigal Son will be saved in some form. Look what happened with
that another
Firefly.
station can pick it up, just like the Orville's, or the same way as like Lucifer or.
And I never saw Firefly,
Brooklyn
but
Nine-Nine.
that became a movie. Firefly
That became a movie.
Yeah. So you never know.
Serenity.
So maybe Prodigal Son. I know you're a huge fan of Prodigal Son, so I'm rooting for it too.
That was like my favorite show of this year.
Really? Okay. Cool. Well, let's see what the future holds. But all right, guys. Well, I want to thank you.
But I mean, so many things.
Yeah, I hear you. We still got some good stuff, good TV out there, good movies, great
thank you.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much. This was amazing. Gilly, Erica, you are always invited. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you.
And I want to thank everyone watching at home and on your devices for taking the time to watch this show. You could also watch brand new episodes of Under the Radar every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern on Manhattan Neighborhood Network. And also, please, please, please subscribe to the Under the Radar YouTube channel, where you can find previous episodes, interviews, and commentaries, and all that fun stuff. So just subscribe and share. And I'm Randy Unger. This has been Under the Radar, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much, guys.